to halt next week's JSC interviews. We are now joined by legal analyst Melusi Xulu. Melusi, thank you so much. You've been watching some of those arguments in a court. This is a very important step in South Africa because the JSE is such an important part to actually make sure that our judges actually do their job and our courts work. That's the bottom line here, to actually get all parties involved in the appointment of judges.
Good afternoon to you, Xolani, and to the viewers at home. I think what you've stated is very important, that the JSC, or the Judicial Services Commission, has a very important job in ensuring that the judges that are chosen are proper and they have integrity, so that the justice system can be strong. But I think the issue here then is what do you do and what do you say about the composition of the members of the JSC? So that is the issue that is at hand, whether if Dr. John has been impeached as he was a judge, is it proper for him to sit as a member of a JSC? So that is a very interesting argument, because what is argued, even though it was previously last week, what is argued by Dr. John is that I'm no longer a judge. At this stage, I'm a member of a parliament, I'm a member of a JSC, and based on that, I have a right, obviously, then to be a member of JSC. But the argument by his opponents is that because he has been impeached, he can't be the person who chooses who should be the judge. So that is basically the argument that I'm picking up.
From the argument of the JSC coming to next week's 54 interviews over the next 2 weeks, how are the costs coming in? You've been following in terms of this argument. Talk to us about how much it would cost to actually halt and pause those interviews while arguments are continuing in court.
Yeah, I think what will be interesting yet to note is it in the public interest to postpone and not have the the interviews of the 54 interviews or people who are to be interviewed? Is it in the public interest to have it as per Part BB? So I think that is the question. Yes, there will be cost if maybe it's not done, but at the end of the day, I think the Constitution is the ultimate decider. So the question is it unconstitutional for the interviews to proceed, or is it unconstitutional for them to be stopped? That is the question I think will ultimately decide. The cost, yes, maybe there may be cost if it's not done or if it's done, but the ultimate decider should be the Constitution.
Let's talk about what others are arguing in the MK, to say that just because he's been impeached does not mean that he cannot exercise his mind. That is Dr. John Hlophe. And they were saying that just because my driver's license is expired, it doesn't mean that I now lose my ability to drive a car.
Yes, look, Section 47 of the Constitution states how you can be a member of the parliament. I think it was well discussed in the case of the former president when that was being argued. So we all know what you need to do to be a member of a parliament. In a sense, for example, you can't be a person who has been convicted for a crime of more than 12 months in prison. So that is settled. Then the next argument is, what are the requirements for you to be a member of a JSE? There's a vote that happens, and no less than 3 members of the JSC, as per parliament, for the 6 members, they should be from the opposition at least. So the question, what interests me here, Xolani, is which section of the Constitution specifically states that you cannot be a member of the JSE when you are already a member of parliament. And what I've looked at is there is none. So you go back to the judgment of Western Cape Court, High Court, where it was said that there's actually a discretion on the member of a JSC. So that was something that the National Parliament or the Speaker Assembly was not aware of. So that is interesting to say. There is a discretion on that, but it's not a specific constitutional provision that you cannot be a member of JSE because of these reasons when you're already a member of a National Parliament Pro Section 47. So that is what I'm looking at to say you are not really being chosen because the fact that you've been impeached is not an issue. I think what MK is saying is Judge Hlophe, or rather Dr. Hlophe, is no longer a judge. He's being chosen here as a member of a parliament. But then it means there's certain limitations specifically for Judge Hlophe or Dr. Hlophe. And are those reasons to limit him constitutional or not? That is the question.
Melusi Xulu is a legal analyst and joins us there to give us his views on this latest matter between the MK party and the JSE.